Girl, I love you. Hey, it's running. Just in case you never know. Just in case you never know. Hey, love you, girl. Do you feel the same? I don't wanna play games. No games. You're the only one that can out my flame. Baby, just play it straight. No games. We've been together 6 months now. The most perfect days. You pushed for us to exchange vows. Made me change our ways. I gave my life over to you. Then you turned around. After all that we've been through, I was your rebound. Girl, I want you all time. I'll forever love you. You're mine. I'm not mad even though I'm sad. 'Cause you should give me one more chance. Love you, girl. Do you feel the same? I don't wanna play games. No games. You're the only one that can out my flame. Baby, just play it straight. No games. Is this the life you really want? Constant illusion. Your time with me was very fun. There's no illusion. But I don't know you anymore. When you walk outside that door, you left your happiness. But girl, I want you all time. I'll forever love you. You're mine. I'm not mad even though I'm sad. 'Cause you should give me one more chance. Love you,